Wake up to reality. Nothing ever goes as planned in this accursed world. The longer you live, the more you will realize that the only things that truly exist in this reality are merely pain, suffering, and futility. Listen. Everywhere you look in this world, wherever there is light, there will always be shadows to be found as well. As long as there is a concept of victors, the vanquished will also exist. The selfish intent of wanting to preserve peace initiates wars, and hatred is born in order to protect love. There are nexuses, causal relationships that cannot be separated. You think you understand the world. You think the plans you make, the dreams you hold, the hopes you chase will unfold the way you imagine. But reality does not care about your dreams. It crushes them. It bends you until you break. It shows you that every illusion you clung to was nothing more than a fragile thread waiting to snap. This is the truth that most will never accept. This is the truth that I learned long ago. Nothing ever goes as planned in this accursed world. The longer you live, the more you will see how cruel it is. Friends turn into enemies. Promises turn into lies. The people you once trusted will betray you. The things you thought would last forever will crumble into dust. And the only constants that remain are pain, suffering, and futility. That is the nature of this existence. That is the reality people run from. But I do not run. I do not hide. I faced it, and I became something that cannot be broken by it. Most of you live inside illusions. You wake up every day convincing yourself that life will be fair, that hard work alone guarantees reward, that kindness will be returned with kindness, that justice will prevail. But none of that is real. The world is not built on fairness. It is built on power. It is built on deception. It is built on those who can endure suffering and still rise when others collapse. If you want to survive, if you want to become something more than a forgotten soul lost in the storm, then you must wake up. You must strip away every comforting illusion and look at the raw, merciless truth. Only then will you begin to understand what it means to live in this world. People fear pain, but pain is the only teacher that never lies. Pain shows you who you really are. Pain shows you what you can endure. Pain strips away weakness and forces you to rebuild yourself stronger. The weak run from it. They drown themselves in distraction and false hope, pretending that suffering does not exist. But I embraced it. I allowed it to shape me, to sharpen me, to forge me into something unshakable. And that is why I stand above those who crumble when life betrays them. They collapse into despair. I rise from it. That is the difference between those who live in illusions and those who accept reality. You want to know why most people will never achieve anything beyond mediocrity? Because they cling to hope instead of truth. They waste their lives waiting for things to go their way, waiting for someone to save them, waiting for destiny to hand them greatness. But destiny does not exist. Fate does not care for you. No one is coming to save you. You are alone in this world, and the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can begin to carve your own path. That path will not be easy. It will be filled with pain. But pain is the only way forward. Pain is the price of strength. Pain is the foundation of power. Most men are broken by suffering. Few are built by it. The question is, will you allow the cruelty of reality to destroy you, or will you use it as the fire that forges you into something indestructible? That is the choice every soul must make. The world will not wait for you. The storm will not stop. You either rise and face it, or you drown beneath it. That is reality. Think about the people you once trusted. Where are they now? How many of them abandoned you when you needed them most? How many of them spoke words of loyalty but vanished when the weight of life grew heavy? That is reality. People love illusions. They love the idea of loyalty, of justice, of peace. But when the time comes to prove it, they fail. They bow to fear. They submit to weakness. They reveal their true selves. I learned to stop expecting anything from anyone. When you stop expecting, you stop being disappointed. When you stop relying on others, you stop being betrayed. When you cut away illusions, you begin to see the world for what it is, and that is when you become dangerous. The masses will never understand this. They will continue to chase false dreams, continue to live in denial, continue to suffer because they refuse to see the truth. But you, if you are listening to this, then perhaps something inside you is ready to wake up. Perhaps you have suffered enough to realize that comfort is nothing but a trap, that illusions are chains designed to keep you weak. If you are ready to awaken, then you must learn to detach yourself from the false promises of the world. Stop seeking comfort. Stop chasing acceptance. Stop trying to please those who will never understand you. Instead, focus on building yourself into something unshakable. Do you want power? Then stop running from pain. Do you want freedom? Then stop chasing illusions. Do you want respect? Then stop begging for it and make yourself into someone who cannot be ignored. True strength comes not from being loved, but from being feared. It comes from being able to stand alone, unbroken, when everyone else has fallen. That is why I say to you, wake up to reality. Stop being another soul lost in the lie. Become the one who sees the truth when others close their eyes. This world is accursed. That will never change. But you can change. You can use its cruelty as the very thing that forges your greatness. Every betrayal, every wound, every loss, let them be fuel. Let them harden you. Let them make you untouchable. And when you rise, when you become something more than anyone imagined, the same world that tried to break you will bow to the strength it created. Remember, this life will not give you what you deserve. It will give you only what you are strong enough to take. Nothing more, nothing less. If you want peace, you must fight for it. If you want respect, you must command it. If you want freedom, you must tear down the chains with your own hands. That is the truth no one wants to hear, because it demands responsibility. It demands sacrifice. It demands strength, and most are too weak to accept it. But not you. Not if you have truly awakened. Not if you have chosen to see the world as it is. Wake up to reality. Nothing ever goes as planned. That is not a curse. It is liberation. Because once you stop expecting life to go your way, once you stop relying on others to save you, once you stop waiting for destiny, you become free. Free to carve your own path. Free to build your own strength. Free to rise above a world that seeks to keep you broken. That is the gift of truth. That is the gift of suffering. That is the path to true power. So ask yourself, are you ready to let go of the lies? Are you ready to stand alone in the darkness? Are you ready to endure pain without breaking, betrayal without despair, suffering without surrender? Because if you are, then nothing can stop you. Not fate, not enemies, not even the cruelty of the world itself. You will become untouchable. You will become inevitable. You will become the very force that bends reality to your will. That is the destiny of those who awaken. That is the path of those who refuse to be broken. That is the harsh truth that will make you unstoppable. Wake up to reality. This world owes you nothing, so take everything